Hi, welcome to GitLab's 13.5 Team Retrospective Summary. I'm Lindsay and I'll be your host for the summary and for the discussion call later in the week. Today, I'll share some of the responses we've received on the following familiar questions. What went well this milestone? What did not go well? And what can we improve on in the future? Starting out with what went well. Under the value of collaboration, Neil McCorrison from the Secure Stage said that their emphasis on praise for 13.5 was overwhelmingly positive. They had praise items coming from engineers, PM, and UX. It was really fun sharing these in their sync sessions. It's good to note that this praise over sharing praise was also seconded by Craig Gomes later under the value of iteration. In the area of results, Valerie Carnes from the UX team said that really good progress was made on improving GitLab performance, quality, and velocity by making GitLab development pajamas first. About 30% of the Vue component migration was completed as part of a Q3 OKR. Product designers and tech writers all contributed to this effort. Additionally, Jerome from the growth team said they've moved quickly to push product analytics into a stronger direction. They've renamed their group from telemetry to product analytics. They're onboarding a new product manager. They've outlined a new direction page, clarified their end-to-end process from collection to analysis, and finished the OKR for implementing product performance indicators across over 40 stages and groups. Positive gains in the area of efficiency were reported by John Hope, who said there's been less back and forth on reviews in 13.5. Brett from the project management team noted that he was able to keep MRs unblocked when reviewing by approving if the requested change was small. This allowed authors to make the change and press on with the review process. And in diversity and inclusion and belonging, Sheng Zhen from the global search team said it's been awesome to see their team help out folks who ask questions in their team channel. It creates a welcoming atmosphere and encourages others to feel comfortable asking questions there. Moving on to the feedback about what did not go as well in 13.5. Under the area of results, Craig Gomes said from the database team, they missed an edge case with re-indexing, which caused a production incident. They have an incident review coming up next week to discuss further and detailed prevention measures going forward. John Hope from the plan team said that there's still some end-to-end release uncertainty, and a desire not to rush through docs changes meant that one piece of work narrowly missed the milestone. It sounds like they've gotten better, however, at timing documentation updates. Great. Moving forward, feedback and efficiency received by Jean from the Create Static Site Editor group, that during the last milestone, a team member attempted to slice an MR vertically, but it ended up taking a very long time to get through all of the reviews. Apart from the total time duration, it also caused the team member to have to constantly switch when new comments were received on that MR. We decided to adopt a horizontal slicing approach by default in their team and only adopt a vertical approach when it's clearly beneficial to do so. And Neil McCorrison from the Secure Stage said that the new release post process has its merits, such as better alignment to the work being done, but it has also created overhead. They've had parallel discussions making it difficult to know the single source of truth. And finally, focusing on areas where we want to make improvements going forward. Under the value of collaboration, Craig Gnomes from the memory stage said that the memory team is discussing ways to make retros more meaningful and actionable instead of it feeling like we're filling out and forgetting about it. Ongoing discussions include voting and having explicit follow-up items. In the area of efficiency, Ricky from Verified Testing said that the Verified Testing team has run into some issues around not having documentation expectations marked clearly in the issue ahead of time. They're resolving to be more attentive to that section in the issue template and to make sure that if an issue will require a documentation update, that it is marked in the issue description clearly. Cheryl Lee from Verify CI said that a CI engineer learned that it's best to start on a security MR as soon as possible to ensure that it gets released on time. After realizing that some backports required more work than expected, and also did not know the exact date for the code freezes, as the wording around that saying all MRs associated with the release should be ready 48 hours before the security release. This can vary depending on whether it's a weekend or a holiday on that month. And finally, under iteration, Sheng Zhen from Global Search said that they have done a lot of work on performance improvements of search and have started to work on more UI, UX performance, but they will still be keeping an eye on the performance issues going forward. That is the end of our summary. I invite you to participate in our discussion, which is Thursday, November 4th at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Internal GitLab members can join the internal Zoom link. Everyone else can follow along on the YouTube live stream if they'd like. We've got 2 items to discuss during that call, both of which come from items in the retrospective document. The first comes from Craig Gnomes from the memory database team, who is interested in learning from attendees, both internal to GitLab and external if possible, if they find this retrospective valuable and why. He's gotten feedback that sometimes it just feels like a checkbox and that we need to fill it out monthly, that sometimes he feels that way himself. Craig is curious if there are people who find this valuable and why. Are there people who do not find this valuable and why? And are attendees only doing this because it's the way we've always done it? The second discussion item that we'll be covering during the call is coming from Thomas Woodham from the Secure Stage, who would like to know people's input on how we can ensure that differences in process don't make it more difficult to collaborate across teams. Secure has one front-end team which works against 4 back-end teams. While each team follows the product development workflow, each team's interpretation of it is unique enough to make it really hard for team members who have assignments spanning multiple teams in one iteration. These are both great topics, and I very much look forward to hearing people's inputs on it. If you'd like to contribute to the discussion, please add items to each topic in the retrospective document, and you can verbalize them on the call. Thank you very much for your time, and we will talk to you during the call on November 4th. Bye.